What's going on, guys? It's the Filthy Casual here. I've got Challenge Rift 82 for the start of Season 16. So please, if you're planning on playing Season 16, don't do your Challenge Rift today. Wait until after the season has started, you've made a seasonal character and logged in, and then come back, do your Challenge Rift. But I'll go through the video now just so that you're completely armed with what to do when the season starts. Now, good news is it's quite an easy one. Bad news is the build is really horribly put together, but it doesn't make too much of a difference. It's quite an easy one. Even if you've never played Monk, it should be fairly doable. Now, it's a Sunwuko Wave of Light Monk. You have all the pieces to make up the bonuses, so that's great. So in a nutshell, whilst you've got Sweeping Wind active, you've got a 50% damage reduction, and you get decoys, but don't need to worry too much about them on the 4-piece. But the 6-piece is where it's at. So Wave of Light will get a 1000% damage bonus for each stack of Sweeping Wind that you have. You can have 3 stacks in this build, so 3 stacks of Sweeping Wind is 3000%, and you know, it's fairly decent damage. It's not amazing, but it's pretty decent. It's good enough to get the job done. Now this is also multiplied by your convention of elements. As you can see there, this player has got strength on there, which is really unhelpful. And the roll on it is crap. It's 153%. That's about as low as you can get. But you do also have a Bane of the Stricken, so at least that'll buff your damage a little bit. Now you also have the Bane of the Trapped. That's another damage multiplier. The braces are the wrong ones. These won't do anything for you. And then your weapons are Ingium, which will get your cooldown down, and Rhymeheart, which again does absolutely nothing. Got Witching Hour, so that's a bit of a damage boost. Firewalkers, so they look cool as you run around with fire on the ground, but again don't actually do anything. And if you look at them, they've got a wave of force damage on and intelligence, so you know this guy's really gone to town with putting together loads of bits of crappy bits. At least he's got a resource cost reduction, gem in the helm. So the gear, yeah, the gear's a bit crap, but it'll still work. So skills wise, Sweeping Wind, you're going to have to activate that to do your damage. Wave of Light, you're going to have to use that. Now fortunately in the cube you've got the Incense Torch of the Grand Temple, so Wave of Light resource cost is reduced and also the damage is increased. I've also got the Zokran's Gaze, so what that means is that Wave of Light you can now cast whilst being away from enemies, so you don't have to be right next to them. Also in the cube you've got the Obsidian Ring of the Zodiac. Now that's actually quite important because you'll run out of spirit really quickly. As you can see there, I'm pressing the button, down it goes. So what you do have in the skills is you have Mystic Ally, Air Ally, you gain 100 spirit whenever you press this. So pop, up goes the spirit, and you can see it's on a cooldown. As you hit with your spender, the cooldown jumps and then you hit it again. So obviously each time you kill an elite, this will come back pretty quickly. Now obviously you're also going to have other skills on cooldown. Sweeping Wind isn't on a cooldown, so that's fine, that's not going to be affected. And that increases every time you crit, so that's why that jumped when we hit the enemy. But you're going to be using Dashing Strike quite a lot, so obviously you can see the cooldown jump when we use the spender for that. But the main defensive skill that you've got is Epiphany, Desert Shroud, 50% damage reduction. You probably will need this, so as you pop it, again, as you see, the cooldown comes down. Now what this basically means is that once you've got all these things going off, Obsidian Ring will proc one of them, and it's just at complete random, so you might run out of spirit if you spam Wave of Light too much. So that's about the only thing that can really go wrong. As I say, you don't want to be pressing your mantra because it takes spirit away from you. Let's just have a look at the passives. So Harmony, this is toughness buff. Beacon of Etard, 20% CDR, that's handy. Maximum Spirit is useful. And then you deal a load more damage to enemies above 75% life. So basic gameplay is going to be, as soon as you get in, remember to activate Sweeping Wind like so. Crit a couple of times to get the stacks up to 3, and then just keep popping your Mystic Ally. Now if you can avoid the enemies, it's probably worthwhile not hitting your Epiphany Desert Shroud, because you don't want the Obsidian Ring bringing anything other than your Mystic Ally down, but there will be times where you'll have to do it. You've got no cheat death, so let's jump in and get this done. Now, rather than listen to me clack my controller, I decided to come back out and redo the audio over the gameplay. Now, the Desert Shroud, you probably shouldn't activate it, you won't need it if you just use your teleport to get out of the way of things. I activated it a few times in the gameplay and it's not really necessary. You'll have an easier time with this rift if you don't bother. I've run Dry and Resource a couple of times, again probably over spamming the Wave of Light. You could, if you're really bothered, match it up with your convention cycle so that you're spamming it on fire, but honestly you can beat the timer with, I'd say, at least a minute and a half, 2 minutes to spare. This first map's really linear, and really again what you probably should be doing if you wanted to make a really decent time is, once you do kill a champ pack or an elite pack, is use your dashing strike and spam that to get around the map quickly. But to be honest, you don't really need to. It's just it's a really easy rift, which is good. I think Blizzard normally do give us an absolute doozy at the start of the season, just to make life a lot easier. And everybody wants to get the bag. It's makes leveling 1 to 70 so much easier. So if they did a really hard challenge rift, that would suck. Be quite interesting actually, but yeah, would suck quite a bit. But yeah, definitely no problems getting the rift done. Now, the Sunwuko build is quite a fun build if you haven't played it. Then this is kind of what it feels like, albeit you would normally have different weapons that would make it a lot more powerful. And you obviously wouldn't have the wrong main stat rolled on it and stuff like that. And it's getting a buff on 264, but obviously it's been around for a while, so I think it'd be nice to not have to play Sunwuko if you were playing Monk, but it might just be the case that you're stuck with it. So as you can see, we're about 30 seconds ahead now, moving on to the second floor, and you pick up a channeling pile on early doors, and that just means that you can absolutely nose it through. Occasionally I'm looking at the audio recording to make sure that's still going, which is why I'm stood there like a divvy, firing waves of light at nothing. Again, another sort of gameplay tip probably for doing this rift is I probably should be closing the distance down, because I'm used to playing Wave of Light with a Zai's Stone of Vengeance, so I'm used to keeping my distance with it, and the helm that you've got allows you to do that, the Sokin's Graze. But yeah, trapped, if you get closer you'll be doing more damage. Obviously just teleport out of the way of the nasty affixes and molten arcane and that sort of stuff. But yeah, over a minute to go now, over a minute ahead, so yeah, easy peasy. And if you clear enough trash along the way, you'll probably get a power pylon right around the time the Rift Guardian procs, or spawns rather, so that would be really handy to get. But yeah, you'll get this done no problem. So I'm looking forward to Season 16, I think it's going to be a good one. Looking forward to getting to 70 as quickly as possible. Unfortunately, because I'm based in the UK, the season doesn't start till I think 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm not going to be staying up till 1 o'clock to start playing, but I might get up early on the Saturday, try to do a couple of hours before work, maybe see if I can get to 70 by the end of the weekend. Now, if you're not super hardcore, if you are filthy casual like I am, sometimes I won't get myself level 70 by the end of the weekend, and all that means is you get to do another challenge rift, get another challenge bag, and per game time it means it's actually quite short, because you can simply just get 2 challenge bags and get all the extra goodies and maybe roll some more items. So if I don't get to 70 by the end of the weekend, I'm not going to be devastated, but I'd certainly like to. I think it'd be quite good. I'm probably going to make a barbarian hardcore leveling guide as a go, because I've had a little look around on YouTube and there isn't terribly much. And obviously you can see I've ducked out of the Rift Guardian fight because I just don't want to kill him, and you'll be able to blam him no problem. You've got the Bane of the Stricken, so I'm sure it'll be no problem at all. So that's it guys, good luck for Season 16, I hope you have a great start. I hope this video's helped you get Challenge Rift done. As I say, don't do it until the season starts. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.